let me tell you something really funny. Harvard is saying that when Hitler was poor, he lived in a home, a charity home, that was financed by 3 wealthy families who are Jewish. And who are these 3 wealthy families? They're the Rothschilds, right? Then there are the Epsteins, me, and the Gutmans. So these 3 families, Rothschilds, Epsteins, and Gutmans, go way back centuries. All right? So Epstein is a member of one of the most powerful families in the world. All right? Now, Irene the Rothschild responds and says, oh, it's just a conspiracy theory, right? It's just saying that the Jews created Hitler. And Epstein gets angry at her and says, no, it's 100% true, man. Hitler was selling his clothes and already living in a shelter funded by Jews. Epstein, Rothschild, and Gutman, no conspiracy. It's really true, okay? The Epsteins, who are we? We're the Vienna bankers. All right? We've been around for the longest time. You Rothschilds think you're powerful? Well, we're powerful too. Okay? All right, let's continue. All right, so the FBI is running an investigation on Jeffrey Epstein, and they created a file on him. And there's a confidential human source, a spy basically, who they recruit to tell them who Jeffrey Epstein is and what his network is. And the FBI is sort of blown away by what they discover, okay? So, Amber, could you help me read, please? Okay, all right. All right, so I want you to start at the top, and it's a bit hard to read, okay, but try your best.
Okay. Jeffrey Epstein was represented by Dershowitz.
Alan Dershowitz, okay? Alan Dershowitz is a Harvard professor. He's one of the most powerful men in America, okay? Alan Dershowitz. Keep on going.
CHS remembered Dershowitz tell Alex Ocasio, U.S. Attorney of Southern District of Florida at the time, that Epstein belonged to both U.S. and Allied intelligence services.
Okay, so in 2008, Epstein was arrested in Florida for doing inappropriate behavior, okay? And Alan Dershowitz comes in and says, hey, you can't arrest this guy because he works for intelligence. Actually, the truth of the matter is, intelligence works for him, okay? Keep on going.
CHS shared phone calls between Dershowitz and Epstein during which he/she took notes. After these calls, Mossad would then call Dershowitz to debrief. Epstein was close to the former Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Barak, and trained as a spy under him. Barak believed Netanyahu was a criminal. Saudi Arabia, Israel, and the United Arab Emirates are allied against Qatar, Turkey, Iran, and Syria.
That's not okay. All right. So here it says that Epstein worked for Mossad. That's not true, okay? All right, so you look at Epstein's life. He actually started his career at Dalton. Dalton is one of the most prestigious elite schools in America. That's where all the most powerful, wealthiest families send their children, okay? He was hired as a teacher. Then he went to work for Bear Stearns, which is a financial firm, and there he learned finance. But then he went to work for Doug Lees. Who is Doug Lees? Doug Lees is an arms trafficker involved with Iran-Contra, okay? So he's one of the biggest global arms traffickers in the world. And then he started to work for Barak, who is the prime minister, or the former prime minister of Israel, all right? So you're like, everyone's like, okay, well, it's because he sucks everything, and that's why he was being moved from one place to another, okay? But another way of saying this is, he's an operative, and he's being trained in how power works by mentors. Does that make sense? Let's just say I have a big company, right? And I'm a chairman. My son is going to inherit this company. How do I train him to be a good boss? Well, I have him work in different departments of the company, and I have mentors train him in these different departments, right? So what is Dalton? Dalton is education, right? What is Bear Stearns? Finance. What is Doug Lees? He is criminal, arms trafficking. And who is Barak? He is intelligence, right? Does that make sense, guys? He's being trained, mentored in the different sectors of power in the world. All right?